Hi there, welcome back to the Coin Report channel. Finally, we have some huge news today. Sony started diving headfirst into cryptocurrency. Why all the rush and how will this situation affect the Jasmy coin's future price? In addition, the ground is already being prepared for other companies to dash over here. Who are they? And what are their plans for the Jasmy coin? Let's find out in this video. Get comfortable, let's get started. Folks, for a long time now, we've seen many bloggers speculating about the Jasmy coin having some involvement with Sony, and that cryptocurrency is on the verge of mass adoption by the tech giant and, consequently, a price rise. Well, I've already shown you my own investigations regarding this topic by demonstrating different documents, files, and so on. And I've gotta say, digging through all that info was really hard, as many of the connections are hidden from public view for some reason I don't understand. But even back then, I told you that something really big was coming, and fortunately, for many Jasmy coin holders, that's exactly what happened. It was recently reported that Sony is starting to play big by entering the cryptocurrency market, and I suspect that other companies we all know well will soon follow. Why? After quite some time spent digging around the internet and linking the interests and connections of different partner companies, I was able to put everything together. As it turned out, it wasn't as obvious as it might have seemed at first glance. That's why I also decided to shed some light on this topic. But we will talk about this a little later. Now let's get to Sony's official plans, because new facts and news that have surfaced will definitely affect not only Jasmy's future, but also the price of their coin. You just have to see it to know how to behave further. Such a sudden rush on the part of the technology company is not without reason. There is an explanation for everything. So what happened? Boom! Sony decided to develop its own blockchain. But what is so important we can learn from this news, and what does it all have to do with the Jasmy coin? Let's now take a closer look at all the nuances. A subsidiary of tech giant Sony, namely Sony Network Communications, plans to create its own blockchain in the near future. They have partnered with Startail Labs to do so, aiming to popularize Web3 and launch several of their own products. And wow, that's great! Although the fact that Sony sees many opportunities in cryptocurrency didn't surprise me in any way. The president and representative director of Sony stated the following: by combining Sony Network Communications' experience in communication, IoT, AI, and solution services with Startail Labs' insights and technical prowess in Web3, we aspire to create a global infrastructure that underpins the Web3 era, driving innovation across existing industries. In fact, such a goal has been with them for a long time. This has been the company's purposeful vision for many years. In other words, the tech giant has been heading towards cryptocurrency for the whole time. Really? Firstly, back in 2018, Sony developed a contactless hardware wallet for cryptocurrencies based on IC card technology. Later, Sony Pictures Entertainment filed a patent application for a blockchain-based system for storing digital rights records. How about that? Plus, they have said publicly many times that they have some expertise in IoT technology. That's why the fact that Jasmy was developed in partnership with Sony and right now is their venture capital fund focused on innovation in IoT technology looks very realistic to me. But why are we still not yet seeing the long-awaited adoptions that absolutely all holders of this coin are so ardently waiting for? You'll find the answer in this tweet right here. In short, big companies are simply not designed for innovation. Breakthrough technologies emerge through a lot of trial and error. Yes, of course, taking challenges and risks is pretty normal, but companies don't want to be on the losing side. In a corporation of this size, the cost of a mistake is very high. One wrong move and thousands of people lose their jobs. And that's not to mention the presence of profitable businesses. This is why large enterprises don't create innovations. Then what do we do? It's very simple. In this case, a separate specialized company is founded that deals with this vector. If it doesn't succeed, the leading company won't be affected in any way. This is an additional argument favoring Jasmy as Sony's venture capital arm. It's likely that Sony simply gave Jasmy complete action freedom, not wanting to take any risks themselves. Great, now let's get back to our video topic and figure out in more details. Who is Startail Labs? Why is this such an important partnership, and how does Sony, along with Jasmy, plan to capture a larger share of the cryptocurrency market? I'll give you a spoiler immediately, you don't expect this coin price. In the meantime, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Sometimes it is challenging for me to make content for you because it takes quite some time. Plus, I always try to improve the information quality and analysis. I really look forward to your support, and we continue. Folks, Sony Network Communication and Startail Labs have recently entered into a strategic alliance. The firm's vision revolves around cutting-edge products designed to expand the application of Web3 space technologies. That's all cool, but here's what few people have paid attention to. Sony and Startail Labs' investment is split at a 90 to 10% ratio respectively. Honestly, I've yet to see a situation where a top company is so confident in what they're doing. Just look at the ratio. Sony shoulders about 90% of the costs. Sounds promising, but that's not all. Here is a list of companies that are involved in digital twin technology in one way or another. And is that really a coincidence? IoT will play an essential role in its optimal functioning. I think the fact that the CEO of Jasmy has quite a lot of credibility in the digital transformation industry can play into the hands of our cryptocurrency. It's likely that, following Sony, other companies will rush into the Web3 and IoT area, wanting to take on more on the costs as well. I even feel that we are in for the start of a new bull run in about a year or so. So far, I have no other explanation as to why Sony started entering the crypto area so aggressively. Creating your own blockchain requires a lot of resources, both material and intellectual. So I'd say definitely a big gain. Be sure to write your predictions on whether they'll be able to roll out such a layer 1 blockchain that can enter the top 10 cryptocurrencies by capitalization in the comments. For now, I want to move on to the price of the Jasmy coin and the impact of everything I mentioned earlier. One crypto analyst shared an interesting thread on his Twitter account. He urges his followers not to confuse an amateur trader with a long-term investor and sets a good example with Ethereum. In 2018, a top 2 cryptocurrency lost 94% of its value. Honestly, the graph might seem like total fraud to some. Okay though. For most people who know very little about crypto so far, this may be the case. But just 3 years later, Ethereum exploded and became a blue chip. What about Jasmy? Unfortunately, the coin was launched amid a bull run, which ended up negatively impacting its price. Plus, not all tokens were in circulation. And since we had very little demand during the bear markets, and the coins kept being released over and over again, following their previously defined schedule. Now we have what we have. The author recommends not making unnecessary movements if you're underwater. Never sell at a loss. The best thing to do is to wait for the next bounce and do it then. Please don't forget that you're always someone else's liquidity, whether you are an investor or a trader. But an investor loses much less often than a trader. And all this is because he's disciplined in waiting for his time. The ability to wait is also an essential quality, without which it is difficult to make money in investments. Jasmy is still solvent. It's still doing tremendous work, making high-profile partnerships and continuing to move forward. That's why be patient, and goals like the first 1 cent and then 10 cents will become a reality. And that's it for today. Subscribe to the Coin Report channel. Thanks for watching. See you later.